Okie dokie, so today we are in Croydon South and we have a really big hive in this wall. I was here last season and looked at it, and it was a big job then, but it's even bigger now. They chose to delay the relocation and it didn't go as low or as high last year. From memory, but anyway, we'll cut the plaster and the cornice so we can get to the top plate, and then see what we've got. This will be fun. And there we go, that's the plaster cut. I've already cleaned up the dust. There was so much dust in the room I actually had to open the windows and the door until the dust cleared, which I'll have to close up before I actually start pulling the plaster off. Obviously pulling the plaster off in one sheet just won't be practical, because if it's got comb attached to it, it's going to be a big heavy sheet. So I'll actually now cut the plaster into sections and then pull them off in sections. It'll make my life a lot easier. Okie dokies. That is the lower half of the hive. It's been there a long time. As we work up the hive, we get, how about we slip in so we can see. We start to get to honey here, which would indicate the rest of that will be honey. The brood is coming away from the wall as I pull it out, so I'm going to have to pull it out without getting the plaster off initially until we get to brood that's secured. So it's all just part of the fun. Okay, so we've got the second piece out, or off. Let's leave behind. We just take it in steps, work slowly and calmly. There's a big hive, a lot of bees. Obviously they're going to windows and whatnot, and we still need to find the queen. We just hope she wasn't in what dropped down there, but unlikely it was honey, but time will tell. We'll just work our way through it. Okay, so that's two pieces out. There is honey unfortunately dribbling on the carpet, but some warm water will fix that. Just obviously the priority is the brood and the queen. Still a lot of hive to go. And more bees on the window. This is a huge hive. It'll be a 3-stack beyond a shadow of a doubt. I'm now going to work on just getting the brood in, which is this lower section. Once I've got that, if I've got the queen or not, I'll start bee backing, clear out heaps of the bees and make working here heaps easier. Because obviously we put minimal honey in the hive and feed it back to them later, because otherwise the hive gets too sticky and too heavy and lots of things, and then they decide they don't want to live there. I'm going to do something a bit unusual for me. As you can see, there's still more brood to be cut out. So let's get closer so you can see. Yep. That's all honey. And then there's more honey up there. It's getting hard to work with so many bees in the hive and whatnot, so what I'm going to do, I've framed up 6 frames of brood into that box, and I've put an air box on top. I'll bee back a whole bunch of the bees out of the hive so you can see what I'm working on in there, and some of the bees around the room, and then I'll start a whole new fresh box for the rest of the bees, and then you're not in quarantine. There's just too many bees in this hive, it's huge. Okay, so I was vacuuming for a few hours to clear out the bulk of the bees, as I said earlier. So we've cleared off the bees off there, and there's bees forming again on the window, but most of them are gone, and we've cleared off heaps of bees off the hive. So there we go. The hive does go a fraction around the corner as well, sometimes. But now I'll take these bees outside just so they don't overheat in this room, and get some more equipment and continue the relocation now that there's a heap less bees and it's easier to work. Okay. There, I've gotten all the brood out lower down, that's honey down there. And so all I need to do now is just confirm that will be all honey. If there's brood there, I'll frame it up, but if not, I'll start doing the final bee vac and cleaning out the honey as I go. So let's see what is up higher. And now that I've confirmed the top half is, well, the top third is all honey, I can bee vac. I didn't get the queen yet because she is in behind there somewhere. All good, we'll get her. So now I'll bee vac the remaining bees and cut the honey out. Bee vac's all set up, ready to go. And yep, the windows are now chockers with bees again. That's what let's see. So it doesn't take long for the windows to get coated with bees, but we'll bee vac them up and go from there. There are bees on the floor and on the windows, but not as many as there was previously. A lot of honey. The huge majority of the comb is out. Queen is in the vacuum box. I didn't even bother caging her. She was too hard to reach, so I just vacuumed her in. Obviously a lot of leaky honey. I'll finish bee vacuuming the bees, and then I'll wipe down the walls just to get rid of some of the excess honey, and then I'll start filling the cavity. But an extraordinary amount of drones in this hive as well. Lots and lots and lots of drones. Bit tired. Okie dokies. There's one on the window. It's been a long day. It's been a big hive. I clean up the honey down here. I've still got to clean up a little bit of honey on the wall and noggins. These are going from over there as well. So almost ready to start cleaning, filling the cavity with old clothing and that. Okie dokies. As I put the old clothing in the cavity just to delete it, I'm just putting the plaster back in temporarily. That way they can work out what they want to do, and they've got time to think without any excess bees coming in. And this is why I like old clothes better than insulation. Well, I don't like the fiberglass in insulation, I don't like handling it, and it's better than sheets and whatnot because it seems to stick to each other and cling and fill the cavity heaps better than fluffy sheets and whatnot. And all done. There we go. Cavity's filled with clothing, plaster's back in, room's empty of bees. We've finished it. Yay.